wasn't gonna do any videos. I was just gonna take pictures this time out, but I changed my mind. I'm just getting headed into a new section of woods I haven't been in. First thing I come across is a seat spot right here. They set here. You can see maybe not. There's like a bunch kind of pushed up here, and once that was kind of weird. I had something make a noise behind me. That was close. Anyways, so here's the smaller stuff, the seat spot, and then they have one placed up in here, one bent up in here, but it comes right up into the asterisk. And in this seat spot, here's what, they did right in front, which is really, really cool. There's a little one in front of this, which will probably be for a seat spot right here. I think that's a seat spot. But you can see where something's sitting here. And right here. So yeah. Oh, I know what that noise was. I have antacids in my bag for heartburn. Made a rattling noise. But this one here will be a lineup point for probably both these seat spots. Man, that is cool. Here, I'll sit in this one now. I think there's more than that. Like I think right here is a seat spot. These are the little guys. These are like, I mean, they ain't big. And there's a lot of them in Minnesota. At least seat spots everywhere of them. I like to try to figure out the lineup points. Like that is definitely broke off for one of these seat spots back here, or maybe both. For a lineup point, it's supposed to hit somewhere dead center, on something, which creates a whole new picture. Maybe that, let's see. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's like that. I think it's supposed to be like that. It's raining. It's not raining hard, so it ain't bad out here. Look at that little detail. Details. They come into an asterisk. I'm just getting over a cold. Every year, run-of-the-mill cold, it's always this time of year. See if I can get that all in one picture. And if it is what they call coronavirus, I'm telling you, it's not. It's not bad. I bet anything. If I went in and got tested, they'd put it on corona. But it's like, 3 days. After about 2-3 days, and then your lungs clean out, your nose starts to clean out, and by the 5th day or whatever, it'll be gone. There's your Trident. Here's a seat spot. And another one. Wow, the backside of this thing's awesome from these seat spots. See the asterisk? That is mind-blowing. This is this way of the seat spot. And that way, you got all this coming up and in. That one bends right through. Wow. And then it comes down into, the asterisks, like always. Yeah, I'm almost certain, for seat spot sizes, we have a variety of beings out here that they're not big, and I'm a couple times, the ones I got on video, they're not big. They're like maybe 3-4 foot tall. Holy moly. It's the same ones I have around my house. They're not the big ones. They're like, 3-4 foot tall. They're not, that's the biggest they get. We had the she squatchers. They came to Reamer, where I live, and talked about it. The natives of Hawaii, they know they exist. They exist, and they're in Hawaii, the smaller ones. And the she squatchers, they said the same thing. They talked about them. I can't remember what they called them, but they're around the bigger Sasquatch, which I find that same thing. The sightings I've had of big Sasquatch are right around these smaller ones. So it's like they have no issues with each other. The structure in here is freaking amazing. Here's the sideways teepee. Here's a seat spot right here. I'm gonna sit in that one and get some pictures. And they have no issues with any of the animals. They all come through here. The animals are not afraid of these beings at all. Deer, everything. Deer, bears, everything. They are not afraid of these beings. And some researchers out there think I'm nuts for thinking that Sasquatch and these other smaller versions, they think I'm nuts for saying that. I don't believe they eat animals. I think they might eat the smaller, like worms and grubs and stuff, and plant-based stuff, but all the evidence I'm finding, they don't. And I'm not saying there ain't beings out there that do. You know, I think that's very possible, but it's not these guys, I don't think. I do find bones. I will find bones at seat spots, but they're bleached out. They're not fresh. I'm going to restart my video here, I think. Yeah, maybe not. I'll keep it going. Man, this is so cool. Okay, there's a seat spot right here. Oh man, that lines up freaking awesome. Holy moly. Oh, like, this is so worth it to me. Like, every part of my being wholeheartedly enjoys all this. It's amazing to me. Man, that's so cool. Okay, the seat spot I'm in now, it's right in front of a rock. Look at the trident. Wow. Look at that bend that comes up and over. Holy moly. Wow. Watch all this. Watch what they do here. Right? And then they come up into that. See the asterisk, right? And that one's bent right in through. That is mind blowing. Here's one with the roots. The roots of that tree are tore right up. Like, I am almost certain that didn't come from here. Wow, and then right beyond this wall thing they did is that. That is so cool. I know they're here. They're here till the structure quits in October, like towards mid to end October, the structure stops. So I think they go somewhere. I think they either migrate or go. Here's a feather in a seat spot. You know, migrate south, or you know, maybe they take portals in and then out back south. You know, some will have portals where they can travel that way, or you know, maybe portals back to wherever they're from. I don't know. That I don't know, but here's the ground teepees. I call them ground teepees. They're like flat on the ground, but they all come to one point like a teepee. Look at the bend they brought into it. And down and in. That is a really cool seat spot area here. Oh. Let's see if I can get a better picture of that. That was really neat. It literally took that, I think, off the end of this and placed it right there. Another really good seat spot. Look at the Y stick they got coming down in. Here's a really drastically used spot. Another feather? Yeah, another feather used in this one. Here's a teepee type structure. They used probably somebody marking their deer trail, but they used that in it. This is where it's starting to get really drastically used. Like insanity. Holy moly. Another seat spot. There's so many seat spots here. Watch this on this seat spot. This is really neat. Wow. I mean, like there is absolutely fresh digging. Man, see, look at this. See if this will show up. That looks like a handprint, like an absolute freaking handprint right here. And that's the base of the palm. Right here. And then you have, looks like fingers sticking in here. But when they dig this stuff, it's like they're eating these white roots, I think. And then they'll like eat the white roots and then they pack it back down. And then these white roots grow like crazy in this. So it's like a sustainable, really probably nutritious food source that's easy and easy to get, and it'll keep growing. Like they'll probably eat that, you know, part of that, and then shove it back in, cover it up, and eat somewhere else. And I bet you this grows. You know, I wouldn't doubt if it would grow an inch a day, you know. Look at the asterisk. My goodness. And this is this guy's seat spot. I've been on the other side of this trail up here just for a little bit, and it was that dark. So they know they know of me. I just haven't been here for a very long period of time. And they definitely know by the little bit I was over there that, you know, I know their structure and I know their seat spots. Beautiful seat spot. Okay, you see, that's going to be a lineup point piper there. Maybe like that. I don't know. Unless... Look at this guy's seat spot. And there's another one right there. Another one right there. They're all over. Look at this. Starting to rain pretty good now. Well, it's pretty thick canopy here, so it's not hitting me too much. There's just so many seat spots in here. I like this one. They come in with the Trident. Well, I'm gonna head this way. Another seat spot. There's a seat spot here, but they brought a Trident one up and in here. A break. That's insanity. Wow. Starting to come down pretty good. Another seat spot I'm in. Oh, this is really cool. Wait till you guys see this one. Oh man. Okay, so they have one here coming in, and then another bend coming in. That. But what's off that? Holy mackerel. Wow. Oh. Holy man. See how it comes through in the background? And then it's a Trident right behind the X. That's freaking amazing. That is amazing. Wow. Look at the teepee tape structure here. Same thing there. Look how many come into that one spot up here. Man, that's insanity. Absolutely beautiful. ground teepee. Holy moly. We're getting this guy's seat spot right here. Because this is going to be immaculate. See how each seat spot does something different. Isn't that neat? You got the asterisk. They hung one right here. Literally hung one. So it would do that and create the other asterisk. I mean, that's hung in there, so it would do that. And it comes into that asterisk. Oh, these are cool. So, absolutely amazing seat spot here. And where did it go? There's a woodland snail, and they do this. They love these snails. Where did it go? Now I gotta find it again. Gotta step back over. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There it is, right here. So this is right in seat spots, you know. It's an empty woodland snail shell. Like when they're empty, and you only find them empty. See how it's in a triangled spot? They purposely do that. right at a seat spot. Man, it's so drastically used in here. That's a good footprint. That's a really good one. That's the heel. It's got a pretty wide foot. It's cool. You can actually feel their foot out, their impression when you step in them. Right here, it's another one. Holy moly. Holy moly. So I'm in a seat spot again. I tell you, there's no lack of these beings. So there's thousands and thousands of seat spots in the Minnesota woods like these, and with this exact structure. There's no lack of these beings in our world. They're just intelligent. I mean, like, beyond intelligent. To be able to do what they do and stay out of sight is absolutely intelligent as all can be. Heck, you know, it's just crazy, you know. Even the ones around my house, they have seat spots around my house. They have made so many more seat spots up closer to my house that now that they know that we know. But yeah, trying to even see one at night. I know they come up, we have like a rock garden around our deck we started, and they come up there and they do really cool things out of the rocks. It's just crazy the stuff they do around my house, and they've created seat spots. We have like a dog pen around our house, and off that is the woods, and they bent, started out with 2 trees bent over and into the dog pen. And I was wondering why they did that. It was like a week later, you know, I went around the back side of the pen there where they had it bent over. They made seat spots and had an absolutely beautiful asterisk at the first seat spot they made. And they've been structuring it like a little bit at a time. And now there's like 4 seat spots there, and it's these beings with the little seats. Yeah, so we gift them, you know, we do things with them. I'll arrange the rocks a certain way, and then I put a quartz rock in the center of a circle they did in the rocks. They moved the quartz rock to the outer part of the circle, and I think where the rock that was on the outer part, I think that's the one they moved to the center, but they switched it, you know. But, you know, knowing where their seat spots are and how they come up to the house and all that stuff is still, I have yet to, I think I filmed them maybe once. It sure looked like them back in the woods farther. I think they hang back farther during the day in a strip of woods where it's really structured back in there. But still trying to see them out the window at night, you know, to where I don't know how they do it. They just, I yet to have to see them. Absolutely for sure see them, but I know what they're doing around there. That's a pretty blatant trail up through here. I think I'm just gonna do pictures now for a while, guys, so this video don't extend way too long. But I have a blue jay just come in on me. I'm in Freaking beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spot. We'll do one more video here and take some more pictures, and that'll be the end of it. I'm getting pretty wet now. Woo. Their structure in here is so cool. But you'll see it like here. See where all those come to one point? All those come up right to an asterisk. Yeah, get a picture of that. I gotta be in a seat spot close to it. Right here. There's a seat spot right there. But all those come to one point. Comes up to here to one central point. And then they have, see the bend there. And then they're all coming up to there to one central point. Look at the one here, brought down and in. And they come up out of this. There's more coming here, but all to one central point. Wow. I gotta sit in this seat spot because this is really cool. I like how they do that, you know, where they do a bend and then leans and then into the asterisk. This one's really neat too. Right there. Yeah, that one bends in and back out, right into the asterisk. Holy moly. Wow. I'm beside myself in here. It's just structure after structure after structure. But you can see how beautiful and how perfect they bring things in. That's an immaculate asterisk. They do a lot of this type of stuff in their seat spots. There's quite a few mounds right around this area right here. Here's a seat spot. Like a really, that's a big seat spot. There's just so much I can't get in that one picture. It's just so beautifully structured. Trying to figure out where the lineup point for this one is. Let me show you how perfectly, you know, with that seat spot, but see the one leaned up here? But then they broke that one, broke it again so they could kick it back in to the one leaned up and in, right on it. Or how far this bend comes. I mean, they got it going a long ways over into that stuff. Well, I'm gonna stop the video here again. Bye. Okay, I wanted to do a video here. This is this is mind blowing. In this seat spot, you got the Trident, right? You got the X right behind there, but it comes out this way. Oh, that's really cool. So the X there, they brought one up, bent it back in to make that X thing. But then it comes up into that X. But then behind all this is just insanity. Absolutely beautiful structuring. And then comes into the asterisk. Then you can see how they brought a bunch into that central point, and then the bend out of that into that, which is really cool. You see where they all come to one central point. Like everything in the background, everything in the foreground, all comes right there. Right below it is this, which is freaking absolutely awesome. So that broke off one there. It's going to be a lineup point probably for that crook, which comes into bend, triangle, asterisk. And then the symmetrical X. But this all comes into, ties into this, which I can't even get in a picture. Teepee type structure. Man, it's cool. We'll lean back. You see this branch hanging in front of me here? That's a lineup point. They do this a lot in structures. So probably like that. Maybe I can get it in a picture. I gotta lay down though. If that don't blow your mind. They're so detailed. If that, like this is probably purposely done like that, you know, and it just shows you, it just shows you how intelligent they are. And even the one that kicks out this side comes up to that one, you know, it just perfectly comes right through that. And then all back down into that. Well, I had a raindrop fall on my lens. Bye, guys. Okay, I'm coming into another section, still raining. Another major section of structuring. Like you got all those coming into one point. This is one of the longest. There's a seat spot right there, which I was just setting in and taking pictures, but look where this goes. Look how finagled this is. It just wraps and then it goes way down there. Absolute seat spot. Goes all the way into there. This is the beginning of another major hangout. Same with this, all to one point, all those. But this is insanity. You see how they do this? Like, there's probably a seat spot here. Okay, right here's a seat spot. And you can see how they do lineup points. See where they all come into one point? All into one point. This one's really finagled, broke, and then bent around that way to tuck in. Here's your ground teepees. This is what I call ground teepees. I didn't know what else to call them. I'm in another seat spot right now, really packed down. There's another seat spot. This is what I call ground teepees, and this is why I tell people that it's not wind blown, because wind does not place that many into one spot. The chances of that happening, I say this all the time, I should go to the casino to find this all the time. Like, for every single one to be right there, just does not happen. Unless something with hands did it. Ah, this is so cool in here. Same here. Look at this. This one's beautiful. They did an X dead center, another X, another X. But same thing. All these all come into this one central spot. And then behind it is that. I crossed the road, the trail. I went on the other side, but I crossed it. And as I was crossing it, I had a double, no, it was a triple, really quick, triple wood knock. So I think that's, you know, I think they're warning the other ones, you know, I'm coming across. You know, not only the structure, and you have I'm not kidding, hundreds of seat spots through here. Wow. Look at this one. Oh, I accidentally broke the ground structure. So got the bend coming through. Here's a seat spot right there. Most of these beings out here are little. Like, these seat spots are not big. Y'all know that wind did not do that. You'd have to be retarded to think wind would put that many into one central point. Especially with the seat spots around here. I mean, they're everywhere. Here's a seat spot right here. It's a little packed down spot. Here's another one. Here's another one. There's a tiny, tiny one. And then you have that. Absolutely beautiful teepee type structure. See if I can make it through here. Oh, then you get this stuff, the asterisk. The most common structure that I find is probably the asterisk. Just mind blowing. And look at the one coming right out of the asterisk, right? Comes up, and they have two more bent into it, the trident, shoved in. This literally all ties right back in to the teepee structure, teepee type structure. Seat spot, beautiful seat spot. And in each seat spot they have lineup points. Structures behind will line up with the front. See if I can make it through here. Here's a big major seat spot right here. I mean, it is so packed down. They interlocked two right here. But at this major seat spot, I don't know if it's multiples or a bigger one, they have one suspended. There's the Blue Jay, which is a trident, absolute trident. See it swinging? It's suspended. And then that beautiful structure. Man, so like I'm in a seat spot right now. So you got that one. I'm in a seat spot right now. And right behind me is the teepee type one, if you can see it through there. The interlocking one comes into a trident type one. Into the asterisk, right? The asterisk comes into that, and then into the bend. Another trident one. I hear you, bud. Those Blue Jays. I'm telling you guys, the Jays are very, very close with these beings. There's something with these beings and the Jays. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Then you get the little stuff they do. I mean, they literally, everything here, see how many come into that one central point? Everything here they lay out, and they do. What you guys doing? How cool is that? You know, the trident swings. Let's see how they hung it. It's actually a trident on this end and a trident on that end. mess it up. I broke the one little tip off their trident. Sorry guys, they're gonna beat me. But here's the little tiny details, right? Check this out. All identical sticks laid out into an asterisk. I think they do a lot of tinkering. Like when they're in their seat spots, they just, I think that's the pastime, or they enjoy doing this stuff. Look at the trident coming up and into that one. That's a bend that comes from that seat spot over there. Comes all the way here, and they put a trident right up and in. Beautiful. Usually if I get in their hangouts for too long, they'll do like a loud branch break, or they'll drop a tree. You know, it's just, or they project energy on me. Like I feel it. When they're ready for me to be out of here, I know it. One way or another, they will let me know it. Sometimes I don't get out of the area as quick as they want me to. I tell them, you know, as soon as I feel like they're ready for me to be out of an area, I always tell them, you know, I let them know that I know and I'm going to be leaving, you know. And usually what happens is I start walking out, and then I keep coming across stuff, so it takes me a lot longer to get out, you know. But I do head out. And then I usually say, you know, it's your guys' fault that you guys do this beautiful structuring. Right? I'm in a seat spot right now. In a way, it kind of is, you know, it kind of is. Kind of is their fault that what they do is so just so in tune with nature, and such a peace in your heart when you see it, you know. Like they got that connection. They have that connection with our Creator. Humans lack it. Humans are in deep shit coming up, I think. Unless people open their minds and go against what we're being forced to do, we are screwed, blued, and tattooed. My thoughts. This is what I know without a doubt. Like I have felt it. I have been through it. When you're totally free of the blocks, the fears, everything we've had shoved into our mind and and we've taken as truths through our whole life. It ain't truth. It's everything that humans have been put through via TV, music, school, laws. Everything we have been put through has chained us. And what we need to do is not how do you put this? Not fight back, not get angry, but literally go inside ourselves and feel your emotions. Bring up all those fears, those chains, the depression, bring it up and face them, you know, one at a time, all at a time. allow them to be there. And you put a, if you put your mind, like, how would you put it? Like your third eye. Like if you put that on your emotions, it literally separates yourself from your emotions, because all these negative things coming through and chains and things we've believed that we believe to be us are not us. And when you actually focus on it and allow it to come up within you and question it, there will be a chance, or you hit a line where you're able to, you'll hit a line where the truth and no lies and everything that's absolute is on one side of it and the lies on the other, and you have a choice. And if you choose the truth, that block and chain, you'll feel it come out of you. It will go out of your body. And what fills those voids is our Creator's unconditional love. Our Creator fills those voids. And our Creator ain't something we have to look for. Our Creator is with us at all points. Never leaves us. The only reason we don't feel it is because of the lies that block our Creator from being in our body. And these guys, I have a very strong suspicion, are free of the chains. I've told this story quite a few times. Like, I have had every chain come out of my body at once. I had a big block on the left side of my chest that I had the only reason I held on to it is because I was afraid of it hurting, coming out of me and hurting anybody else. The realization that set it out of me was, by me holding on to it, we're all one. So it was hurting everybody else anyways. At that realization point, that block come to the center of my chest, and every block that was going up from my solar plexus all the way up got pushed out with this big block all at once. And well, I felt love. It come out my mouth. Like, it come right out my mouth. I have never felt love, unconditional love like that, because the Creator's energy come in. Like, there wasn't nothing keeping it out no more. And it's absolute, pure, unconditional love. It's even my eyes, like seeing things. I cried. The vibration in my body was, I was vibrating at a speed I couldn't even imagine. Like, every cell in my body. If we all do that, if we all look within ourselves instead of outwards for answers, that's what's going to change the world, is each individual block we release within ourselves and out. That's what's going to change the world. That's where we can't be controlled no more. We won't fear death. We won't fear what anybody else would do to you, because there's no fear to have when you know your Creator is there always and will never leave you hang. Even in the moment of death, our Creator is there. So there's that. Wow. That is neat. That is such a pure quartz line running through that rock. It's downpouring. It's not cold out though, so it ain't bothering me. I have another channel. I have 2 videos uploaded on it. It's called Northern Minnesota Mud Fossils. But if anybody's interested, it's another aspect of something I'm I have a major passion for. Look at that. Is mud fossils. And it's another thing like Sasquatch and these beings have been hid from us because I believe because they're free and they're unchained, and it's something they don't want us to find out about.